might as well call me GiftED, because you see those two fingers? That means this is the second session on the influence of Pastor Bartlett's influence on my life. That's the late Pastor Billy B. Bartlett. He had such a profound influence on my life, and this one piece of information that I'm going to share, he never shared it directly with me. He shared it with his son, and his son shared it with me, and now I'm sharing it with you. Pastor Bartlett told his son, Brett, who is now the pastor of our church, he said early on in his career, in his pursuit, in his calling as a preacher, he said, you're going to want to find something in nature. You're going to want to observe something outdoors that you can mimic and make your style of preaching and teaching. Brett took this lesson to heart, and he arrived at this conclusion. He said, I would like to mimic fireworks. Consider a fireworks display for just a moment. When it starts out from the very get-go, it commands your attention. In the darkness of the night, boom, these lights are shining forth. And as much as they command your attention then, as the session goes on, the fireworks are even more commanding, and they start coming with more frequency. And if it's a really good fireworks display, they'll have these moments where it feels like they're leading to that grand finale. But then they'll take it back down a notch. But then there's another opportunity. It feels like the grand finale, and then they'll take it back down a notch, and then everybody's there for the ultimate grand finale. It's a series of fireworks going off so frequently. Boom, 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 boom. And it just overwhelms you. That is what my pastor decided he wanted to do based on the advice of his father. And that advice was shared with me I was in New Philadelphia, Ohio at a restaurant. We were at a church conference, and we had finished the conference for the day, and we're sitting at a dinner table, and that's when Pastor Brett shared the advice of his father with me. And that really got me thinking, what would I want to mimic? And after giving it some consideration, I decided the thing in nature I wanted to mimic with my teaching and my preaching and any kind of presentation I would give would be, I wanted to mimic rain. Think about this. Rain comes in varying degrees of intensity, and depending on what I'm teaching and depending on my audience, I want to vary in the intensity. By mimicking rain, I can decide on how intense of a downpour of information I want to present. You know, another thing about rain is rain leads to growth. I want everything that I'm teaching to lead to growth. And so I want that result, a result of information that is going to help those that are there, those students, those observers, those participants to be able to grow. Hey, how about that cold, wet, nasty rain that you can experience? You know what it makes you feel? It makes you feel uncomfortable. And one of the greatest opportunities for growth is when you feel uncomfortable. And so there are some times in a classroom setting when I'm teaching, or if I have the privilege and responsibility to preach, where I want to challenge those people to be uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, there are opportunities for growth that are presented. You know what? Rain can come with such intensity that it can cause a flood. And listen, floods are scary, but listen, sometimes when you just have just a short period of time, it may be just bursts of information that's presented, and people just grab what they can at the times. There's times when that may be appropriate. But here's what else I know. I know that the best information that's out there, it comes from above. It comes from above. It comes from God. And listen, where does rain come from? It comes from above. I want to take that information and present it as truth, as opportunities for people to advance spiritually and to continue to grow. See, rain is for me the perfect element of nature to mimic, because I want to create a ripple effect when I'm teaching. Now, you could say mic drop, But I'm going to just say it's time for some raindrops.